Hey guys, this is Neo once again from the Overclocker magazine, and today I have for you my first ASUS TUF Gaming GT502 build. First off, we have the TUF Gaming LC240 RGB AIO. Second is the TUF Gaming TF120 ARGB fans, Kingston Fury Renegade DDR4 3200. We have the Intel Core i5 13600K, the TUF Gaming Z790 Plus Wi-Fi D4 motherboard, the TUF Gaming 750W bronze PSU, and of course the TUF Gaming GeForce RTX 470 Ti. The case of choice is the new GT502, a surprisingly well-made, high airflow mid-tower chassis that's super easy to build into. The first thing to install, of course, was the 750W PSU. It's not modular, which isn't the best, but the cables are easy to bend and the process of installation relatively smooth. The PSU is housed vertically on the side of the case, but still enjoys ample airflow from the bottom of the chassis. Inside the case, it's clutter-free as I said, and spacious for the form factor and very easy to build into. With the PSU installed, I moved on to installing the TUF Gaming LC240 AIO. After that, I prepared the motherboard for installation, beginning with the CPU and mounting the backplate for the AIO. As per usual for LGA 1700 boards from ASUS, they feature spacing for both LGA 1200 and 1700 coolers. Once the motherboard was installed in the case, it was time to mount the AIO block, an easy enough process with a similar if not near identical mounting system as some of the Corsair AIO units. With the PSU, motherboard and AIO installed, the last major component that needed fitting was the TUF Gaming GeForce RTX 4070 Ti. Again, the GT502 makes this easy to do and is completely pain and hassle free. With everything installed, it was time to sort out the cable mess I had made. Easy enough save for the AIO fan system, which needs 2 fan headers instead of 1 or a Y splitter, an oversight on the part of ASUS. With the system complete, the only thing left to do was admire my handiwork and simply power on the system. Inside, I didn't do the best cable management possible, but part of that has everything to do with the 12V power adapter for the graphics card. There's no easy way to make it neat without risking the power connector, and I was not about to go down that rabbit hole, so I left it as it was. Still, it could be made a little bit neater if you put the time and effort into it. With everything installed and double checked, all I had to do was put back the glass side panel, which of course makes the build look so much better. Cable management aside, I'm genuinely happy with how well this build turned out, especially considering just how easy it was to put together. While not easy to see, I wish I could hide more of the cable mess, especially given that there's so much space behind the motherboard tray, but its location and given the length of some of the cables, I was not able to do so. With all that said and done, all I needed to do was power on the system and get to setting up the software, etc. Visually, I can't fault this build, or more specifically, the GT502. It's an unassuming case, but once the setup is complete and all the components installed, it does come into its own. Overall, this was a simple build, nothing too complicated and relatively easy, I must say. All the components work together, of course, given that they are all TUF Gaming. However, I do feel there could be some increased compatibility or some integration between the chassis, AIO and motherboard, specifically when it comes to the number of RGB or ARGB headers made available on the board. A Corsair Link type solution would simplify the build and avoid unnecessary clutter. That said, this was a simple and pain-free experience for the most part. If you fancy building an ASUS PC but don't want to spend the ridiculous amounts on ROG components, consider the TUF Gaming route. You may be pleasantly surprised how well it all works together. And that's it for my ASUS TUF Gaming GT502 build. With all the components installed, I cannot say that I'm not impressed by what this machine is capable of doing. It runs quiet, it looks the part, it's very well made, and I have to say that for my first TUF Gaming build, I am more than impressed. That said, this was a simple and pain-free experience for the most part. If you fancy building an ASUS PC but don't want to spend on the ROG components, consider the TUF Gaming route. You may be pleasantly surprised how well it all works together. So let me know what you guys think of this build. Remember to share, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the flip side. So take care and peace.